Why does a random bandit on the floor have a key to a lock meant for another Dwemer ruin? And what door does this key unlock in Irkngthand, a historically and culturally important site for the Falmer, and also a host for one of the most important quests of the Thieves Guild? Today we're gonna be descending into one of Skyrim's quieter mysteries, a subplot buried beneath quests and dialogue, woven into Skyrim's deeper background stories. Currently, we are in Raldbthar, one of the locations of a Dark Brotherhood contract. But there is something slightly off about this quest. One of Irkngthand's bandits carries a key that unlocks nothing here. And stranger still, that same key is never used in Irkngthand either. One unanswered question leads to another, and then another, to the point of spiraling confusion. What makes this entire case so bizarre is that there are a lot of these vaguely loose connections tied here and there that are impossible to not notice, and it seems to point towards something. To understand where this key might belong, I think it would be best to start from the main suspect himself, Irkngthand. Moiri, a Dark Brotherhood contractor, wants a man named Irkngthand dead. He is Moiri's ex-lover whom he got close with to swindle off the Shadow Shield family and steal some family heirlooms and wealth before vanishing completely. So then now, what the hell is Irkngthand doing, hiding in an old Dwemer ruin with one of his goons holding a key that has no relation to the quest? It's interesting to note that it's not him but rather one of his lackeys that has the key. This choice implies caution, paranoia even. Whatever the key opens, Elaine doesn't want it taken from him.
Look at the size of this place. Have you ever seen anything like it in your life, lass?
Moiri mentioned that Elaine is simply using Raldbthar as a base to conduct raids and nothing else. But there's a problem with this because now there are two possibilities. Elaine has no idea one of his bandits carries a key of significance, or Elaine found this key somewhere and specifically chose Raldbthar as his base for a reason we don't know, since he's the only one who knows the origins behind this key. Possibility number 2 is higher, given that both Moiri and Elaine seem to reside in Dwemer cities or ruins. Elaine has also fled not to like a cave or a shack, but rather another Dwemer sanctuary. And Moiri is originally from Windhelm, but she fled all the way here to Markarth, when it makes more sense for her to just shift to Riften, Solitude, or even Whiterun. Perhaps obscure knowledge about something passed quietly between the wrong people, since she should not even know where Elaine could be hiding.
I mean, it's not like Elaine told her like, hey baby, I'm fleeing to Raldbthar.
So then why Raldbthar? If the key belongs in Irkngthand, why isn't Elaine there? See, we know the two factions, Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild, are connected. Sapphire originally worked for the Brotherhood, but then joined the guild for a better pay, and Maven Blackbriar maintains ties to both. Irkngthand, as we know, is where Mercer, Frey, and Gallus had discovered is the location of the legendary Eyes of the Falmer, priceless artifacts, and where the statue of one of the last snow elf figures still stands. Among Dwemer ruins, Irkngthand is singular. The city is clearly more significant than the others, leading to believe that there was or is more in Irkngthand. Visiting this room again several years later, I didn't realize this place was also Mercer's own personal goon cave. Mercer Frey wasn't the only thief to reach Irkngthand. Years earlier, another burglar found the Eyes of the Falmer, but he didn't escape with them.
So this is what we heard. The entire tower collapsed.
Elaine fled here clearly looking for something inside this Dwemer ruin, given he's an adventurer who robbed people and places. He too may have somehow discovered the significance of Irkngthand with a similar source. Perhaps he uncovered something, that the door this key opens isn't in Irkngthand at all, but hidden somewhere else, somewhere closer, somewhere beneath Raldbthar itself. There's also another interesting dialogue from Brynjolf suggesting that Irkngthand in general was just a heavily locked up place, and it is only because Mercer had the skeleton key was able to move past many locked sections. The geography of the two cities are also similar. Irkngthand and Raldbthar sit beneath the same body of water, that is Lake Yorgrim. Raldbthar is also one of the 3 cities connected to Blackreach but not Irkngthand. According to Dwemer Inquiries Volume 3, Irkngthand is explicitly mentioned alongside other ruins tied to Falzartumdin, otherwise known as Blackreach. Irkngthand sits in the same region of Yorkroom, close enough that Blackreach's haven system should touch it.
But in the game, the connection is sealed. You are never allowed to pass through it. Unlike Alfthand or Zinshalift, Irkngthand never grants passage. It knows where Blackreach is, it just won't take you there.
A blemish on your fragile little psyche. You know me. You just don't know it.
The word consortium means an association or partnership of several organizations or businesses for a common purpose. Sort of like a cartel but more professional. Raldbthar as a place also called Raldbthar Deep Market, suggesting that both Irkngthand and Raldbthar served an important purpose when it came to the Dwemer, and not just another dungeon. However hard you scrape or unearth all the corridors or sections of Blackreach, Irkngthand and Raldbthar, there is no door, sign or symbol leading to a consortium. Access to the place had either been blocked off due to an early Merethic era earthquake, or restricted to only certain members of the Dwemer, who made sure this place was hidden. There are so many collapsed doors in these ruins, which is nuts. It seems to me actually one of the most important places where clans and city-states convened to negotiate trade, arbitrate disputes, and decide policy, especially regarding the Falmer. Given the Dwemer's competitive, insular, and often contemptuous nature, it's not unreasonable to assume they distrusted not only outsiders but one another. And that brings us back to the key. A Dwemer key, carried not by a scholar or a guildmaster or a priest of some forgotten order, but by a nameless bandit lying face down on a stone floor. Whatever locked this key once opened, it isn't there anymore. The connection exists only in fragments, in books, broken elevators, in collapsed towers, and in ruins that refuse to let us pass. What remains undeniable is this: a key meant for something important survived, while its context did not. How it ended up in the pocket of a nameless bandit, and what its true purpose was, are questions now sealed by time, buried alongside the Dwemer themselves.